Well, the old sleeping in the car trick didn't really work out as I intended. It was quite a bit warmer than trying to sleep in the awning, but terribly uncomfortable on the neck. Didn't really get that much sleep at all. So in the early hours of the morning sometime, I crawled back into the awning, threw one of the little mattresses on the floor, and finally got a bit of sleep. So, push on today, final little bit of the trip into Tamala Station, and sometime this morning we'll be set up at 3 Bays North. Okay, the usual chore for four-wheel drivers is to get the tyres deflated before they go on to soft ground. One of the things we've got to do here is remove the senders for the tyre pressure management system, so we've got to take those off first. And the next thing we have is our rapid deflator. That screws onto your valve stem. Now once the centre section is screwed down tight, you use this end piece here to unscrew the valve. And as you're deflating, you can check your pressures. Now, if you have a model like this one, it actually has a little release on the side so you can recheck your pressures. And then you can remove the deflator. That's the job done. And then all I've got to do is put the pressure sender for the TPMS back on. And then we repeat that another 5 times. Tonight's dinner might not be too flash, but considering the view we got, who cares? round and round we went for 4 days, all over the place, as you'll see by part of the trip log on the GPS. Unfortunately, we just could not find the fish. One little snapper. We found butterfish, we found a solitary blowy, no whiting, nothing else. It was astounding. Really couldn't believe the lack of fish, and we obviously turned up at the wrong time of year. This is almost high tide at the moment, and if you look at it now, it looks like a nice sandy little beach. But when we launched about 11 AM this morning, the tide was quite a bit lower and quite a lot of lumpy rocks just a few yards out there. You can see the beginnings of them. And as we had loaded the boat up, it was a little bit of a struggle getting down there. Belle ended up on her bum in the water. She predicted she would. It's always the case that you don't have the cameras running when things like that happen. Well, we simply gave up using the boat. There just seemed to be no point. We started fishing from the ledge and wasn't much better, although Belle did catch a single yellowfin bream. That was it for our fishing at Shark Bay. I think there's something a bit hypnotic about a campfire. You can sit there, watch the wood burn, see the flames lick away at it, watch those coals start to glow. I can sit here all night. Something pretty primal, I guess. Cooking on an open fire, away from all the niceties of the suburbs. Just a bit of wood, a bit of charcoal, throw your grub on it. Magic.
A lot of oil and stuff like that.
Going to fry it up.
I see. The bed does have your color pencils and an easel with the protractor like that. You know the one I sent you?
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, just pass it.
How do you know when I'm about to do some recording?
Oh, sorry.
Bugger. I got the camera running.
Okay, I'm shutting up now.
Pesky women. It's like women know when to stand in the way of when you want to get past.
Alright.
It's like genetically programmed.
Yes, yes.
It's weird. Well, when it comes to camping gear, I guess I'm becoming a walking advert for everything Audi, but it's not just camping gear. Gotta say, I'm rather partial to the booze they sell too. Not terribly expensive. This is Scotch whiskey, which I'm very partial to. And last night that bottle was a hell of a lot more full than it is now. I was rather pleased to find when I woke up this morning that I didn't have a hangover. So that's an unusual experience for me. But in any case, if you want to get some good cheap booze, Aldi's one of the places I definitely frequent, and this is not a paid ad. This is because I don't have a lot of money and the booze they sell is cheap and good. So when we're out in places like this, it's great to have something like that that's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. And I do have their 8-year-old one, which I'm going to try later on in this trip. This is their Highland Earl, which is 3 years old and not bad for a 3-year-old Scotch whiskey. So if you're thinking about grabbing something like this and going away on a camping trip, don't overdo it, of course. Good value for money, I reckon.